So today I want to give you a sort of a glimpse of what will happen ukianza kudate, okay? So I'm here to say, first of all, let me start by saying dating is someone's own experience, okay? And by dating namaanisha maybe umeanza kukatia mtu and you guys now are flirting and you guys are probably in a relationship. Let me call that dating for today, okay? For context purposes, okay? So mmeanza kukatiana na mtu, mmeanza kuongea and maybe you find yourself now interacting with each other, because sometimes you can be in a relationship na hauko kwa relationship. What do I mean? Probably the guy has not come out and said, see, you be my girlfriend if you are the lady in the relationship, okay? But ni kama mko pamoja, you know, and that's when maybe people say it's complicated, because maybe you don't want to ruin it, ama mnaogopa kuiruin mkianza kuleta stories za girlfriend, boyfriend nini. Yani hizo story mnaona ni kama itakuwa tricky sana. So what to do when it gets so I'm here to tell you what to expect, okay? Number one thing, mtakuwa na happy times. That's for a fact, because even toxic relationships hazianzangi kama toxic relationships, zinaanzanga tu pole pole, mnaanza kujuana and it's all happy and fun until inafika point and then this other person starts to bring out maybe their toxic side, okay? So usidhani ati kuna mtu anaingianga toxic relationship from day one. Hapana, it takes time. Mtu anaanzanga kuji unravel pole pole, una realize haya, kumbe mtu anakuwa na daddy issues, haya, kumbe mtu akona trauma haja deal nazo, haya, kumbe mtu, because now they start to feel comfortable. So akianza ku feel comfortable, they start to release, ama they start to open up even the sides of them that you wouldn't find. Maybe ungeonesha mara ya kwanza ungesema Mr. Kiyo story, but because you didn't know, you end up in a toxic relationship. Na mimi make fun nasema every toxic relationship inaishanga na machozi. Lazima ulie before toke kwa that kind of a relationship, because of just how much toxic it is. So number one, yes, you're gonna have the happy times. Number two, there are going to be sad moments. There are going to be crying moments. Kuna time utakuna feel emotional. Kuna time utakuna feel moods. Kuna time as a guy, even a lady can manipulate your emotions. So you really don't know una feel aje. Unamkanga tu, you know. And jana nilikuwa na have a live show on TikTok and nilikuwa nauliza dem fulani like why must you make my day, like wewe kama tuseme wewe ka dem yangu, why do you have to make my day feel bad, and yet mimi nimeamka na moods, I'm so happy nini, but because you are of your moods and maybe you are feeling emotional, you are feeling sad, hiyo siku yote now it's almost like nabeba hiyo emotion yako ama nabeba hiyo feeling yako just because we're in a relationship together, okay? So you will experience some of those times. Uta experiences of it. Why? Because sasa every time this person is not in a good mood, pia wewe ni kama mood yako ina shift. Every time this person is going through something, wewe pia lazima uko invested in whatever your person or your partner is going through, okay? So there's going to be emotional changes, utakuwa na moods here and there, kutakuwa na kulia here and there, and even for the guys, especially kama ni toxic. Number three, I'll say there's always going to be stress, okay? Juu kila time now huyu mtu hajakuongelesha leo, ama maybe sasa umeanza kufika ako ka point ka, by the way umerealize maybe as a guy, by the way this lady anangojeanga ni kama mimi nimtext, or even you as the lady una realize mwanaume by the way ni kama anangojeanga tu mimi nimtext, he never text me, and yet you guys are in a relationship, but now jumekaa pamoja, you discover haya, kumbe hii si tabia ilikuwa iishe, kumbe uchali ni kama like it's almost like me, I'm the one who always initiate the conversation. Utaanza kupata stress from that point, ama unaanza kuona sijui mara amepost mtu, mara amesema sijui ameenda wapi, mara sijui unaanza kusikia stories zake na watu wengine. So ka stress katakuwa, especially if it's somebody mwenye hana emotional intelligence ya kujua I don't need to do anything that will make my partner feel like they need to be insecure or they need to feel jealous, okay? So that's one thing. The other thing also nimekuambia, as a guy, you need to expect that when you go into a relationship with a lady, atakuwa na kubebeanga moods, atakuwa na kubebeanga feelings. By the almost ni kama yeye ndiye anakuwa your central emotional system, and it's like yeye ndiye ana control emotion yetu leo ni gani as a couple. Unaona? That's crazy, right? Like ni ana control. Leo tuko happy ama leo tumejam. Leo tumekasirikiana ama leo tuna, you know. And even when you talk to a lady, I have talked to a lady before, na nimeuliza hii swali before. History ya drama, like why would you just sit down and then uone atujagi for long, let me just start drama and wacha tu nianze argument. And you find most ladies will say sometimes hata akianza hiyo argument ama akianza hiyo drama, she's not really at hata hajajam, you know, lakini anaweza ku get worked up. As a guy you'll get so worked up, and maybe for her she's, you know how traumatic that is. Anainterpret ni kama hiyo ni mapenzi, anainterpret ni kama hiyo ni mapenzi, the fact that ati anaweza ku get worked up, ati amefanya ujam, oh my god amejam, ati juu nimemwambia nini na nini, you know. And sometimes there are those fake dramas that ladies will come up with, literally haujafanya kitu, but because anaona ka relationship kametulia sana, ana feel lazima a rock the boat kidogo. So you will experience, especially as a guy, you will experience most of that. But they don't know kama kuna dem anakuanga hana drama totally. I really don't know. Okay, the other thing also you should consider when you are dating, ama kitu to experience, what you should expect, that you will find moments zenye you are uncertain whether you still love this person or you don't, because imefika point maybe 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, 5 months, even 1 year down the line, umeanza kuentertain wase wengine. You never used to call other people, now you're calling other ladies. If you're a guy, you are taking calls as a lady from other men, na maybe huku unafanya hiyo kitu, ulikuwa prevent yourself from doing it, but all of a sudden umeanza kuentertain wase wengine, umeanza kuchat na watu wengine, umeanza kusikiza conversations za watu wengine, umeanza kukatiwa na mtu mwingine, na unajua uko na mtu, but it's like you are allowing them. So there's always going to be that uncertainty, like, are we still together with this person? Do I still love them? Unaanza kufeel, have I fallen out of love with this person ama kunaendaje? Okay, and maybe probably ni juu familiarity breeds contempt. So umezoeana na mtu, mmeshinanga na yeye, mnashinanga, oh probably every week you're spending together, so there's going to be that uncertain moment where you start asking yourself, do I still love this person the same way nilikuwa nampenda ile time? And that's why you'll hear most ladies say, by the way venye tuliingia relationship na uchali ni kama ali change. Why? Because you see, at first he was chasing you, he wanted to get you, the goal was to be in a relationship with you. But because akiingia relationship, he didn't expect itakuja na so much drama, he didn't expect itakuja na so much arguments, he didn't expect itakuja na so much stress. You find if it's a guy mwenye anashindwa kujihandle emotionally, or doesn't have that emotional probably maturity, unaona kidogo kuna venye hiyo relationship inamkalia. So it's very important as a lady, peleka mwanaume polepole. This is for you ladies, peleka mwanaume polepole, because you might find a guy might give up on a relationship just because you have so much happening, and yeye hako ready for that. The other thing that you will experience, especially actually by then you wote, for a guy and for a lady, there's going to be a pressure to impress. For a lady, inaweza kuja from the point of maybe you always want to look stunning, you always want to look beautiful. Maybe in a long while ujasikia mwanaume akikwambia unakaa poa, so maybe you are thinking, ama ni change skincare routine, ama ni change makeup, ama nianze kufanya vitu different, ama ni change wardrobe yangu, labda nivae like a new dress. So there's going to be pressure to impress because you are dating somebody, ama you're in a relationship with them, because always unataka kubaki at your A game. As a man, you always want to show the lady that una progress kwa maisha, hauko the same place, you know, probably for her she's in a good job, nini. So pia wewe hutaki kumuonesha ni kama maisha yako hai move. You want to show her that probably, you know, kuna vitu una achieve, kuna vitu umeweza kubuy, probably kuna investment una make. So there's going to be pressure to impress, na hiyo pressure iki increase, that's where you find people start faking it. Tunapata mtu hata anaweza enda to an extent ya kukopa pesa just because they want to take you out on a date. Unapata mtu mwenye anafanya like a job that is not paying them well, and I take all their money and sending it to you just because they want to impress you. You've heard of people wenye anakuja kulia baadaye, especially even for the men, analia baadaye anasema, I used to save up every little money that I had ndio nitumie udem. Unamtumia either thou, unamtumia pesa ya credo nini, hizi miscellaneous, hizi pesa, you know, pesa kidogo, but to you at that point una sacrifice a lot ndio uweze kuafford hiyo. And then in the end wakikuja kuachana una realize, by the way, this guy was pressuring himself so much. So a relationship will do that to you. Itakupressure, itakupush kuimpress yourself. Now I don't know, so is it relationship naongelelea ni relationship yenye eventually it will come to an end. I'm talking about relationships that probably might not last until marriage, you know. So hizo ndio relationship, hiyo ndio context yangu sahi, okay? Because relationship ina last till marriage, it means kuna pali mmefika mkaelewana, and it's like hata kukiwa ama kukikosa ama mkiwa nayo mko tu sawa. So for you it's like you are balanced, it's like you found your soulmate. So I'm not talking about that kind of a relationship. So the other thing you need to know that, you know, your pressure to impress inaweza kuwa so much, especially for the guy, because when ndio uko expected kupelekana date, when ndio uko expected kutumiana do, unaanza kukuja unaanza kuambiwa unajua nani anatumiangwa pesa ya sijui girlfriend allowance na nani na chali yake, so you need to, unaona, so utapewa pressure as a man. So you really have to be very careful so that usimess na your mentality, usimess na your mental health. Okay, don't let a relationship ruin your mental health. At the end of the day, you really don't want to be depressed just because you decided to go into a relationship with somebody who expected so much from you in the shortest time possible. Maybe hata hako ready kukupea time, so they want everything, kila kitu, kama ni dates anataka, kama ni pesa anataka. So you really have to take care of your mental health. Okay, so there is pressure to impress. Even as a lady, by the way, you might notice that inaweza fika point, you know, months down the line, 5 months down the line, 1 year down the line, una notice chali yako ni kama ameanza kuangalia test nyingine, dem mwingine akipita anaanza kumwangalia nini. So you might start to compare yourself. Funny story, mimi nishaikuwa nikidate at a certain point of my life. Like, I think these were my first relationships, and I remember when I was in that relationship, you know, sijui kama ni ujinga ama ni nini, but nilijipata niko na picha za a particular lady zilikuwa kwa simu yangu. Okay, I think I had downloaded these pictures, but zilikuwa tu kwa simu. I don't know why I had those pictures. So one day napata huyu dem amechukua simu yangu, ameanza kuangalia gallery. You see, that's where they are checking to see kama unatumiwa picha na nini. So imagine she goes through the gallery, anaona picha za huyu dem, and then ana notice huyu dem amejaa kwa hii simu. So long story short, akani confront hiyo story, akaniambia sasa huyu ni nani nini. Nikakaa nimelenga, nikasema hata ni picha za WhatsApp group, probably zimeingia tu kimakosa, me I don't know about these pictures nini. Hiyo story ikaisha. But what I noticed is, like the week after, nika notice the same necklace enye ilikuwa na ule dem mwenye alikuwa kwa simu yangu, ule mwenye nilikuwa na picha zake, she had a particular necklace at that point. The same necklace alikuwa amevaa is the same necklace that dem mwenye nilikuwa na date alienda na akabai. So 2 weeks later ndio na notice udem amevaa necklace inafanana na ule dem. So you see, so it's maybe because of that comparison, anaona maybe umependea udem juu ya kitu fulani. So she looks at the lady and she might be like, probably umempendea dress, anaenda natafuta dress. Probably umempendea viatu, anaenda natafuta heels, you know. So there's going to be pressure to impress. Hiyo sidhani kuna venye unaweza escape at the end of the day. And then I think my last point inaweza kuwa disappointment and breakup. So anyone when they go into a relationship, especially kama relationship iko poa, maybe mmemaliza 1 year mko sawa, you know, and you know 1 year is a long time kukua pamoja. So mmemaliza 1 year mko sawa, you're always thinking that maybe you're gonna go to the second year, third year, already ushaanza kupicture hizo vitu zote. But the disappointment comes when you realize it was only but for a season. Okay, una realize relationship iko last long, ilikuwa tu for a season. So anytime you get to that point and you realize that the season has ended, hata ufanye nini ama nini, that relationship will come to an end. Okay, hiyo sasa ndio naita disappointment. There are other levels of disappointment, but I think that's the major one, where you realize you really can't do anything to hold this relationship together. And maybe when do naifaitia, maybe it's your partner naifaitia, maybe the two of you are fighting for this relationship, but imekataa kustick, imekataa kushikana. Okay, so that's why you get to that point and you realize, I think this relationship won't work out. So the breakup happens. So the breakup comes ile yenye irreversible, you really cannot change anything about your relationship. Enyewe time imesonga, you guys probably are toxic for each other, ama you guys are too dramatic, mmeshindwa kuelewana, mmeshindwa ku bring your heads together. It's not even long distance, by them mnaelewana na mko hapo, but imekataa. So what you are to expect when you go into the dating scene, ama when you go into a relationship, there is going to come a breakup. Okay, mta break up, imagine, and the worst thing you can do ni ku break up na mtu alafu mrudiane. Worst mistake, I have done it before, and siwezi sema sikujibamba wenye nilirudi, but you come and realize this person moved on. Okay, if you were to go through their phone, uta realize kama kuna mtu hakuwa anaongelesha mkiwa kwa relationship, kuna mtu ameanza kuongelesha. Kama kuna mtu alikuwa ameacha kumkatia, the minute amesikia ame break up na wewe, ameanza kumkatia tena. So you really have to be very careful and know that once a relationship is over, wacha iishe. Hata heri mbaki mabeshte, but wacha relationship iishe. That chapter is closed.
Gachin Lion.